this together. Okay. So just to start off again, so Tuesday night, we're going to have an opportunity virtual event. So this is a really good chance, again, just for you guys. If you've got anybody that you know has given you any interest before in the business opportunity, maybe you think just would be great at this, somebody maybe that you know needs some extra money, that you'd sort of say, listen, I don't know if you want some more information. I thought about you, about Pampered Chef. I'm having so much fun with this. There's this really great 1 hour virtual. It's all online, but it's just a great place to get some information. So, just to sort of invite them, but tell them what you're inviting them to as well. And then that will be it. It'll just sort of go, and there's some posts will go ahead of them. But yeah, I'll set it up. We'll do that Tuesday. Tuesday's going to be a big night. You'll have to do it because I have Bible study till like 8 too. I don't know how many, but yeah. So I'll set it up, Amy. If you're able to run that and watch some of the other directors. Ashley, you can be involved. Where's Ashley? Oh, I see her. Tuesday night. Yeah, you two tag team it, okay? It's all you. Oh, you can't. What, are you busy? No, I'm joking.
I'm doing yoga, baby.
Oh, yes.
I'll say it's too late, Ashley. She said your name. You're in. How about Hannah Flannery? I see Hannah Flannery over there. No. Oh, look at her.
Oh, look, she's busy too.
I would love to, but I know I'll be at yoga.
I can probably help a little. I have scouts till 7, so I'd be home right around when it was starting.
Yeah, that's okay. That doesn't usually take more than one person anime. Yeah, and you guys will be around.
If all the posts are set up, I'm happy to be there and comment.
Well, that's it. All the posts will be set up, and you guys, if you're inviting people, it'd be great for you to sort of hang out and be in and around. But don't. You're thinking, oh my gosh, I've got something Tuesday. There's no way. Don't not invite people just because you have something Tuesday. Like, we're running it to help you, so invite your people regardless. Because it's just a good way. And again, we want to make sure everybody gets in on this half price rebate, even though we haven't really done much with recruiting yet in this group. Well, some of you have recruited, but it's a great way to, we'll get in and make sure that we get people in on this special. And I don't know if I told you guys this last week. We talked about this in the director call or something. This is, March is regularly, statistically, the biggest month for new consultants to come in. So as an organization, the Beerling organization, we added 17 last March. Now, I know some of you know this, that just this past February, like last month, we helped 17 people come in as an organization, which is really exciting. So I'm expecting us to blow that away this month. So again, I don't know if it's people get their taxes back or it's the spring starting or whatever, but this tends to be a good one. So don't, miss out on just inviting some people with that. So that is happening. So what I would love to do, just to start this back again, I'm so excited to see so many of you back here. Let's talk about some good stuff. I know that I had some great coaching calls and some great visits at Panera for coaching calls, Sabrina Golubuski this week. But I would love to hear.
Aiden wants to go back to your house.
He kept yelling
at me. Did you see Anna at her house? I'm like, what's a house?
I had to keep telling him, Panera is not the house. There's no bed. But I wanted to know let's talk about this. Does anybody have anything good that happened this week? It could be anything. It could be that you sat and spent some time in your office that you regularly didn't, or you reached out and talked to somebody, while you're out and about. Something good. Somebody share something good. Ginger, do you have something good to share?
I do. I recruited 2 people this week.
Oh, yay, Ginger!
One was my daughter, finally. Got her buns moving.
Yeah.
And then the other one is a lead that I've been working with since December, trying to get her to sign on, and she finally did it today.
Awesome. So you guys know Ginger actually went through the last group as well. So again, we've been working on her schedule and working on everything. And then this has sort of been the culmination. What is that word?
Culmination.
So it's sort of the culmination of that. But again, what I love, Ginger, is that, when you're out there and you guys are really talking about the business opportunity, you're going to have people that are going to say, yeah, sign me up, I'm ready to go. But then you're going to also have people like Ginger has, both her daughter and who signed up today, they've, like you said, you've been working on them since December, planting those seeds, and that sometimes happens too. So you don't give up on those people. So good. Yay, Ginger. Who else has something? Elaine, did you have something fun?
I was going to say that I recruited someone this week, but, can't beat Ginger. She got 2.
No, but you've been working hard. Contest.
I recruited a new consultant this week, and just before I signed on to the training tonight, she and I were on the phone setting up her kickoff party.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to get her kickoff party submitted by the 31st so she can get a check.
Yes.
Because I told her when I sponsored her, I'm going to do what I can to help you get a check by the first week of April.
Yeah.
And she was really excited about that. So, but she already has 3 shows booked.
Oh my gosh.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Excellent. Good, Elaine. Yay, yay. Good. Who else has something good going on?
I did another booking blitz.
And?
I am up to 8 shows for April.
Yay, Sabrina.
It's shaky though, because I don't know. 2 of them are like, "Oh, I totally want to do it," and I'm like, "Okay." And they're like, "But here, you know what? Let me bounce this off of you because maybe I can get some insight from you guys." She's a very good customer, and she always orders off of everybody else, but she never wants to party. But now she wants to. She had canceled her Facebook account, but then just recently came back on, so she doesn't have like a lot of people built up on her Facebook. And she's going to ask her husband to do it under his account. But she's just like, she's all over the place. I know this will be a really good party if we go to her house because she's local.
Oh yeah. So you want to do a live party?
She wants. I told her to do a live party, not to worry about Facebook because, and I said we can still do a Facebook thing on her husband's, but I think that she would be, I think she would have more success with a cooking show. And I said, "Oh, my house." She's like, "Can we do it at your house?" I'm like, I don't have the room.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know her well enough to like, but then again, I'm like, whatever.
Well,
that's my conundrum.
Yeah, if you could get her, because you do so well. I mean, not that you don't do great in virtual parties, but you really do shine in your cooking shows, and you enjoy them. And if it's local and something close that you can work in.
Yeah.
You can do a combination too. That's what I've been doing with mine. I start out as a virtual and end at a home show.
Yeah, that's what I suggested to her too. I don't know. My fundraiser that was supposed to happen this month has been pushed over to April, so hopefully I can get that going too. But I don't know. Everyone else is fine, but she's just like, oh my gosh, she's all over the place. She's like, oh, and I'm like, you're overthinking this. I'm like,
yeah. I just had one of those too, believe me.
Yeah.
I would recommend do it quick, get it going. Like say, okay, we're doing this next week or whatever. Like, don't let her think about it for too long. Book her up.
Booking it. Okay, that's that.
Good. Anybody else want to share? Oh, Katrina, you have to unmute. We would love to hear from you. Yeah.
Hi. I had my first 3 shows this weekend.
Cooking shows?
Yep.
And
my
you did
first.
And you did them all in one weekend?
That's the way it worked. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's how we roll. Good for you. How did they go?
They went well. So my show yesterday had 13 people. My one today had 16.
Wow.
Yep. So today
Okay.
Huh?
Go ahead. I want to know about bookings. How many bookings you got off of them?
That I'm not doing so well on. I got one from each show, but two of them are in September and one's in May.
Okay.
So I'm having a rough time trying to get bookings for next month. Jen said she's having a rough time too.
I thought she's booked for April because she was looking for shows for May.
I don't know. I said something to her tonight. I told her I was getting frustrated because I'm asking. I don't know if I'm asking wrong, but I get no or and then I go, well, you know, you have 6 months out from this show for this host to still get credit. And they go, oh, okay, so let's book that one. And I go, it's tentative, you know, because my work schedule, I have call schedule, so it can't be definite until I get my schedule out. And so they go with that, but I can't get anybody to bite for next month. I have a potential one at my party on Thursday night for next month, but that's really it.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what to do.
Are we talking about that tonight, Amy? Or, I mean, we're talking about bookings.
Yeah, we're not talking too much about like at the party, but I mean, we kind of are. I mean, my suggestion, I don't know, who is your director? Is it Jen Gagnon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Because I saw her looking for May as well. That's why I wasn't sure if it was the same person. I don't know how you're talking about the specials and like what you've got going in April. That would be my thing is if you're talking about with excitement that the host special is the stoneware, this is a month that everybody waits for. And like, I would actually say that at my parties is that April is a month that everybody is looking for. And I have hosts that wait for April just because they want the stoneware special. Giving that kind of the exclusivity and the specialness doing it in April, you're still going to get the people that are going to go, I don't know. It's good that you're at least saying, okay, we can do it 6 months out. So you're turning those no's into potentially something. But we will talk a little bit about like why April is good. And you know how to talk to people like that, but it's going to be in a little bit of a different context. I would just talk to Jen about how you're talking about bookings at your parties, because
and we can even maybe after the call, we could, if anybody wants to stay on, you know, after we do the training, we could do a little brainstorming afterwards. If anybody's having
because do we do like bookings at a party is one of our calls,
that's
right?
That's the next call. But
it is. Okay.
I would like to. I'm just thinking of some ideas and stuff, even with her out and about and stuff. You know, that we might be able to talk about some of that. But
follow-up calls though too. Like that's something that I mean, it's not out and about, but I mean, I guess I could kind of touch on that tonight. It was about like customer care calls. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah. Well, the other point that I was just having this conversation with somebody else that was having trouble with in a whole nother state. She's pulling in like $2,000 parties. Like people are just buying stuff. They obviously could care less about anything for free or specials. If somebody's spending $200 at a party, they really don't care so much. You know, the specials are not. So we talk about that there's, and Amy might go there, there's different reasons why people book parties. It's not always for the free and the, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to create more of an event, you know, because, and really paint that kind of picture and make the whole thought. You know, that's why wine, cheese, and chocolate has always been so big. Just do that to anybody. They don't care about the free stuff. They just want wine, cheese, and chocolate, you know, and if they want to do it at their house. So, you know, sometimes it's a different way. And so it might be something, you know, that we touch on there too. But we will brainstorm. Let's do through tonight's call, and then we can, and the training, and then we'll get some more too. So good.
Okay, hold on. My son is dying to say hi.
Oh, good. Hello. Hi. Oh, he's in the bathtub. Hello.
Is he in the tub?
Yeah.
He's getting clean.
Yeah.
He's dying. Sorry.
Thank you, Katrina. Congratulations on doing your shows.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else want to share?
Last night, Nicole messaged me after I closed one of my parties and told me that I'm close to hitting $1,000 for my first month.
Wow!
This is my first month going that high.
That's awesome. That's exciting, huh?
It was exciting, yeah.
Yeah, and even with a 6-week-old baby. Are you doing virtuals or are you doing cooking shows?
Yeah, just virtuals.
Just virtuals. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for you, Nicole. That's exciting.
Thanks. I was
Fun to hit
excited.
Fun to hit those milestones and sort of have those, you know, because you have a great month this way, and then now you have something to beat for next month too.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Kristen, do you have something to share?
Oh, Kristen, please share. Yes, Kristen. Hi, Kristen.
I think I'm almost at my 1250.
You will be. You will be. Once you submit this show, you have.
Once I hit this show, I'll have 1250.
You have way over 1250. That's awesome.
And I think I have a few recruits that are in the works.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yay, Kristen. I know Ashley's been bragging on you all weekend, so I've been hearing about it.
Thanks, Ashley.
Good for you, Kristen.
Thank you.
Gonna be exciting. I know I confused you, Kristen Carver. Hi, Kristen Carver.
Hello.
How has your weekend gone? Because we had a good call at the end of the week, and you were working on your bookings. How you doing?
Very good. I've got a bunch of emails out. I've made a few phone calls. Some responses. So it's good.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
feeling good about it. Yeah.
Good. It's moving forward. Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Who else wants to share something? How about Stacey Anderson's going to share something, because she had a really good first show that we did. So Stacey, why don't you share about your first show?
My first show, Anna came and helped me host, and we had 25 guests and about $1,500 in sales. But I wasn't able to get any bookings like on my book. I'm having a hard time getting people committed. I think a lot of people are looking to do something a little bit further out, in some housewarming parties and things like that will happen. And I had enough orders that I closed the show today, and there were enough orders that I opened a new show, and then I have one on Wednesday.
That's awesome. So you had people, so we talked about shows. We had people come out of there, probably 4, right? 4 or 5, like saying they wanted to do something. But are we still having, we went and talked about how to get them to actually put the date down. And again, we'll talk more about that next week when we're talking about bookings from the party, you know, how important it is to get those dates. Have you've done the follow-up and stuff with them? We still can't get dates from them?
The 2 housewarming parties are when they get in the house, and one of them's getting ready to move in soon, so I'll be able to do that. And and I got my first sale from somebody who was at that show, who found me online on my online site, my website, and placed another order after she left.
Wow. So just getting out there. That's awesome.
So getting my feet wet.
Yeah. Good. She's got a lot of support out there, but that's just always exciting when you hit that first 1250 goal at your first party. That's pretty exciting. So that was a really fun. You're off to a great start, Stacey.
Thank you.
Good. Anybody else have anything to share?
I reached out to an old coworker at the bank, and she decided to book a party, but it's a cooking show, so I'm really nervous because I just want to do virtual. But that's scheduled for April 8th, so.
Okay, so we will do some training. You'll be fine.
She's all excited. She's like, I'm going to use all my new tools. I'm like, oh, I'll bring tons, but you know, she's super excited, so am I.
Good. That's awesome. Somebody's going to get the phone upstairs. Hold on one second. Okay, good. All right, good. That's awesome, Jen. Anybody else? Okay, I know we're getting to, I know at the last call we went through and we would make sure everybody, but we're already at about 8:30. So why don't we do this? So I'm going to put it over to Amy Dolan. Again, Director Amy Dolan, she's going to go over, we're going to talk about booking. So this sounds like it's going to be perfect for a lot of people where we are. So we're going to get some good ideas and stuff from Amy. So go ahead, Amy.
Hi, everybody. So yeah, if for those of you who missed it on the first call too, Anna and I are sisters, like in real life sisters. She's my big sister. So sometimes when you hear the way we talk to each other, it's kind of crazy. And I'm sorry about the lighting. My office is really funky. There you go. I feel like I'm like in a spotlight. Also as a disclaimer, I have no door on my office. I have a curtain, if you can see it. So you will hear everything that's going on in the rest of my house. So they're trying to be quiet, but I'm just as a disclaimer. Okay, so tonight what we're going to talk about, or what I'm going to talk to you guys about, is booking away from the parties and what we call prospecting. And so I need you guys off of mute to answer me here, but like, what do you think of when you think of the word prospecting? Anything come to mind? Anybody?
Seeing a potential host or consultant.
But when you think of the word prospecting, like just like when you hear about it,
it sounds like you're hunting for gold.
Hunting for, that's what I think of too. Thank you. Right. And that's what Sabrina, I mean, Sabrina's like, well, I've been in the business for too long, so I know what it really means. That's exactly what it is.
I'm gonna mute it again.
The point is that you have to be intentional about it, right? It's not like that gold's just going to all of a sudden like end up in your pocket or end up in your bank account. You've got to go looking for it. And that's what our hosts, our potential hosts, and our potential team members, all of these people, they really are gold. This is where our money's coming from. And so the idea is we were just who were we talking to about I can't remember who we were talking to about the party, about their bookings and everything at the party. But we're going to be talking about today outside of the party. What can we do when we are out and about and to get this future business? So first off, how are we going to do this? We're going to talk about the how, when, and the where. Let's start with where. Where can you look for bookings? Where can you get contacts from people that would be potential? And maybe if you have a piece of paper handy, start jotting some of these down, because I'm telling you, we're just going to start throwing them out there. Where can we do some prospecting?
At the grocery store.
Grocery store is one of my favorite, and we'll talk about that in just a minute, how I do that all the time. What else?
Amy?
I have kids events, sporting events.
Sporting events. Go ahead, Elaine. What were you going to say?
I meet people wherever I am, whether I'm at church or the grocery store or out to dinner, or I just like someone's earrings. I mean, I meet people everywhere. I have no problem telling them about my business.
Good.
But I have a problem asking for bookings. I think it's because I don't do live shows.
Okay.
But you know,
talk about that.
Or that could be I'm just making up an excuse.
Could be. We'll talk about that too. Okay. How to talk specifically or how to ask for bookings.
Exactly. I don't know how to ask for the booking.
Okay, so it's that you have no problem connecting with people about the business. It's making that jump over to actually how it's going to work your business.
I have given out over a dozen business cards and gotten people's phone numbers and gone out for lunch with people over the last probably 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I haven't asked for a booking.
Okay, we'll talk specifically about that. That's going to be about the how. Good. Yay. All right, good, Elaine. That's perfect. Where else? So we've got church, sporting events, grocery store. If you like somebody's earrings.
Work.
Your current job.
Good. Worker at jobs. Good.
School.
I do all of my appointments, my dentist, my hair, every single one.
Absolutely. I just got, my dentist called me the other day and placed a $60 order. It's fantastic. Good. So any appointments, doctors, dentists, hair appointment, I heard you say too, right, Ashley? Good. Where else? Anybody got their car fixed recently? Repair shops, good place. How about the post office? Anybody hit up their postmaster yet? Yeah, it works.
Season.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing with all these? Well, it's our new catalog. Do you want to see one? Yes, absolutely. All right, so the point here is the vet's office is another great way. The point is here is that the business is anywhere. And it kind of goes back to what Elaine was saying, is that idea of connecting. That's the how, right? Is how are we going to do that? Now, my boys they hate this, but that anytime I go into anywhere, they will literally say, Mom, can you please not talk to anybody? I will talk to anyone about anything, anywhere. I'm really good at that. And I know that that's not really comfortable for everybody. So I think Anna talked a little bit about this last week. I know we talked a lot about this in the LEAD program, is the idea of getting out of your comfort zone. This may feel like a stretch for you, but I know, Jessica, you've heard me say this before, is that I've never had a consultant die. You might puke a little bit doing this, but you're not going to die, okay? So getting out of your comfort zone and approaching people or kind of starting these conversations with people, it may not feel very comfortable, but there's some ways to go about it, okay, that'll maybe make it feel a little bit easier, and then you'll get better at it. So generally, like as Elaine said about like, you like their earrings, that is a great way that is very flattering to people, that whenever you run into them, if you want to start the conversation on your own, is to say, oh my gosh, I really love those earrings. Where did you get those from? And then it starts in the conversation. I can bring that, because of years of practice, back to Pampered Chef. Oh, I got these at Kohl's on sale. Oh my gosh, I love a sale. You know what I love about my business? And then they go, what is your business? And I go, well, I'm with Pampered Chef. And they're like, oh, I love Pampered Chef. Isn't that always what you always hear whenever you bring up Pampered Chef? Oh, I love Pampered Chef. Now here's what you don't want to do. And Anna and I joke about this all the time. It's like, oh, I love Pampered Chef. And you're like, yeah, so do I. That's not what you want to do, right? Okay, so that's where Elaine, that's where you're coming in, right? So we need to go through there. So basically, if you can bring any business, any conversation back to Pampered Chef, if you're talking about their great earrings or their shoes, people generally are not going to be like, yeah, I just paid $180 for my shoes. That generally doesn't happen, right? They're going to tell you about where they got it. It was on sale. That's when you bring it back to your business. That's what I love about my business. Our hosts never pay anything for full price. We always have great sales going on. Those types of things.
Can I say something?
Yes, Ashley.
A phrase that you said, I'm with Pampered Chef, not I sell Pampered Chef. And I think that's a really big deal when you're talking about your business, because people don't like that like salesman approach. You want to say that you're with them. No.
Thank you, Ashley. I totally forget that I even say that anymore. I've been doing this for so long, but you're right. And that's often that we hear is I sell Pampered Chef, or I'm a Pampered Chef dealer. And then I feel like I should be on the street corner, like peddling some sort of drug. So I feel a little bit more legitimate, but I like the idea that I'm with Pampered Chef, because it also gives that inclusive. Like, we're all sitting here right now on a Sunday night, right? Like having fun, seeing each other's kids, and like it's a great team to be part of too. So it brings in that mentality really well too. One of the things that we talked about, the grocery store. I am a huge proponent of anything that has Pampered Chef on it anywhere. I used to carry, and I haven't because it kind of fell apart a little bit, is the catalog tote. Do you know? I don't know what I'm talking about. It's the bag that's got the like clear pocket in the inside that you can put a full catalog in it. That thing started so many conversations anywhere I went, because people saw it, and the thing that it was out of their mind was, or out of their mouth was, oh, I love the Pampered Chef. Yes, so do I. You don't want to stop it there, right? You could always say, oh, of course, everyone loves a Pampered Chef. There's all sorts of little questions that you can kind of continue on there. When was the last time you were at a party? What's your favorite product? Do you have a consultant that you're working with already? Or you could say, oh, I do too. I love it so much that I actually joined the company. I started working with Pampered Chef, and I started my own business so I could get it for free. There's all sorts of things, but you've got to continue that conversation past, yes, so do I. Okay? The other thing, so the one that I've been using is, it's again one of our older logo products, is the bag that carries our little mini catalogs. If you don't have that big catalog, just the little mini catalogs, that fits in there really nicely. It doesn't draw the eye quite as much as the big catalog, but it still works. Any logo wear, if you have even like a shirt that you made yourself, or one of the ones that you can get from Merrill, or if you've earned it through something, anything that's got your name, the stickers on your van or your car. There's ones that have actually the, the whole address, names, address, website, and everything. Hannah, I know you have that on yours too, don't you? And this is another great reason you need to have those web tools, because if you've got your website on this stuff, people can go right there, right then, place an order, and you're good to go. The thing is, talking about the grocery store though, if you do not have those, I don't even know what they're called, the market bags that clip inside the shopping cart.
Everyday totes,
You do not, Hannah?
Everyday totes.
Thank you. You need to have those, because I use those every time, and I have literally booked a party in Hannaford and Winthrop using those. People, like, they see them and they're like, oh, I love those. And don't be like, yeah, I do too. They're really cool, right? Like, that's not what you want to say. Okay. So yeah, they're from the Pampered Chef, and I'm a consultant. Have you seen a catalog recently? So this is where if you're uncomfortable starting that conversation, this is what you do. Remember we were talking about the mini catalogs? This is what you're all going to start doing tomorrow. Everybody with me? Okay. So these are the mini catalogs. You can get them on the supply order form. You are going to take at least 10 of them. But if you feel like that's too much, you're going to just take 10. And you're going to attach, like staple, onto the front of each one of them, one of our drawing slips. Do you know what I'm talking about with the drawing slip? Hold on. Okay. You know the drawing slips, okay? So you're going to take one of these and you're going to staple it right onto the front, okay? And so then when somebody says to you, oh, I really love the Pampered Chef, and you go, oh, I do too. Here's what you say. I've been given a challenge, if you want to do that, if you want to blame it on me, that's fine. I've been given a challenge by my director to hand out 10 of these this week. I'm giving away a prize if you fill out this drawing slip. You rip it off, okay? Of course, you've got a pen in your purse too. Have them fill out this drawing slip. Now, this is where, Elaine, even if you're not talking about it, it's on here about hosting parties. As they're filling it out, this is when you're going to be asking those questions. Well, so when was the last time you've been to a party? When was the last time you've seen a catalog? Do you have a consultant working with already? Can I tell you about our host specials coming up? Is there a product that you have your eye on? You might want to even say, oh my gosh, you've got to check out, these are our brand new products that just came out. There's the Rock Rock. Do you have a Rock Rock? I love the Rock Rocks. I sell those full price all the time because I think they're awesome. So then you can talk about the slow cooker stand, or about the new microwave egg cooker. We're selling those so fast, ladies, that like they're on back order. Hello, how awesome is that? So we've got all these great things. Again, website, or if you have the web tools, you can go right onto your phone, place an order. Done that too. Has anybody done that yet? Like actually placed an order in the grocery store? No, not yet. And I know you have. But like Anna's like, yeah, she's like signed people up like in grocery stores. She's added to her team. So it's a great thing to be able to do. So does everybody understand the 10 catalog challenge? So can go anywhere. This can be in Paris Farmers Union. I've got that like battened down, Hannah. So don't like go into Paris Farmers Union and think you're like booking in there, because that's mine. Okay. All right. We've got, in the grocery store, I've gone into my dentist office. They're like longtime customers now. I've gone into my dentist office and this was like my first appointment ever. I walked out of there with a $250 party. So they just, again, I had catalogs ready. They passed it around while I was getting my cleaning. And by the time they walked out, I had all these recipes. So there are these orders. You absolutely can do it. You've just got to get out there and say it and be right there. But these mini catalogs are a great way to kind of bridge that gap and get people interested and get them to answer their questions. Okay. There is a, on the Directors Bound part on Consultants Corner, there is the information there about this that you can actually download so you can kind of see everything. Am I on mute? Oh no. Can everybody hear me? Okay, good. I'm sorry. Mute just showed up in the corner of my little box and I'm going, oh, have you guys just all been like staring at me? Okay. See, I'm just like my sister. We're a hot mess. Okay.
We would have told you, Amy. Believe me, somebody would have told you if we couldn't hear.
So, okay, good. So, so that's that. Now, the other thing that we can always do, and this kind of goes into whatever we were talking about. Oh, so bookings. Elaine, did you kind of get some ideas there about how to talk about the bookings?
I like the idea of the questions. When was the last time you've been to a party? When's the last time you've seen a catalog? Do you have a consultant? Because I talk about my business and I'll tell them how I run virtual parties and I've had them in many states and tell them how much I love my job and how great this company is. And they tell me how much they love Pampered Chef, and we exchange phone numbers, and then the next week or so we'll go out for lunch and I'll never bring it up.
So do you remember like Anna's cookie story last week?
I do.
Story? And so it sounds like you're doing a lot of that. You're telling them about how awesome these cookies are. And they're like, yeah, I really love cookies too. And you're never offering it to them.
You're absolutely right. And I'm realizing that it's funny because I've been through this once. This is my second time through this cycle.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't figure out why everyone else wasn't just asking me to book a show, to hold a show for them.
Yeah, they don't do that. They're not going to do it. You have to ask them. But here's the other thing. I heard you say that you were giving out business cards. Is that what you said?
I do. I have business cards.
Okay. My suggestion is, this is just me. I don't give out business cards.
Okay.
Because most people, they don't hold on to business cards, especially now. It was funny. I went to home office a couple weekends ago, and they said bring business cards to share with everybody. And it was very interesting how many consultants didn't even have business cards because they're not the way people do business anymore. Like if I'm like at a vendor fair or something like that, I don't give out business cards. I either give out the mini catalogs or I at least give out recipe cards because people don't keep business cards anymore. It's just not part of it. So if you're giving them the mini catalog, they're more likely to hold on to this. Of course, it's all stamped with my information on it. So they've got the same thing that they've got with a business card, but I'm giving something to them that has more value. So that might be my suggestion, is that if instead of just giving them the business card, give them a recipe card with your information on it. That I think will have more lasting impression with them than just a business card would be. Okay?
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. See, and that's funny that you said that you've been through this once, because it's just like anything else. You hear new things every time too, and you're going to pick up different things that are going to be valuable for your business. So good. So the second way, the out and about, of course, there's out and about, literally out and about, right? As we're out doing anything, the vet's office or anything, it's always an opportunity to bring up Pampered Chef. And sometimes we can supply them reasons for coming up to us. Sometimes if you've got that challenge that you've got to get rid of 10 of them by the end of the week, you're going to find reasons to go and talk to them. And whether it be something to connect them with, I'll talk to anybody, but the grocery store is a great way with our business because we're talking about food, right? So if you see somebody that's in the produce aisle, you might sit there and say, oh my gosh, I've got a really good recipe that goes along with, Brussels sprouts. That Brussels sprout dip that we have is really good, right? I talk about that, and even different ways to prepare items. So that's a good way. But the other way is to pick up the phone. Who here likes to talk on the phone? Like nobody? I know you're on mute, but I can still see your hands. Okay, Katrina raised her hand. Hannah does, right? Ashley's like, I'm on it. Okay, so here's the thing. I know that talking on the phone is not really comfortable for people. And I've done a lot of trainings over the years at different retreats and stuff like that over what I call phone courage, or it really goes down to go for no, because generally the reason why we don't want to pick up the phone is we don't want to hear that word no, right? That's a lot of times our fear of talking to people about our business, even when we're out at the stores or anywhere else, is we don't want to hear that word no. But you know what? Again, no's not going to kill you. And behind the no, there is going to be a yes. A reality of our business is we're going to hear the word no more than we're going to hear the word yes. And it's okay. and I think talked about it last week about the whole numbers. It's math, not magic. That, you've got every 10 people that you talk to, one of them is going to say yes. So you've got to get through the 10. So did you talk about keeping a notebook, Anna, of who you've talked to or some reference? Okay. I like to keep track. It's that whole leaders keep score thing. I like to keep track of how many people I've talked to and how many have said yes, even if it's just a little tally mark thing. It doesn't have to be specific names, but then I can see that my work. And sometimes, sometimes I don't feel like picking up the phone either. Sometimes I do not feel like working. I do not want to do it. I would rather be out in my garden playing with my chickens or something else. So but you got to do it. And that sometimes gives me that motivation to continue. So I would definitely keep track. There is also a booking script. I said that there was the 10 mini catalog challenge. I would definitely suggest to go, and under there is also a standard booking script. And it basically goes along with, again, practice the script before you call somebody so it doesn't sound like you're reading a script. Add in little words that might make it your own, but it basically goes along like this. Hi, Nicole. This is Amy with Pampered Chef. I'm so excited. There are some incredible things going on in our company right now. And I thought of you because I know you love those stainless steel mixing bowls. I'm so excited about this party that I'm doing in April, and our host rewards and bonuses are fabulous. Do you have a moment to hear about this? And they're going to either say yes or no. They're going to be like, no, I'm just way too busy. Okay, I totally understand. Can I call back in about an hour, or would tomorrow be better? Give them the opportunity to say now's not a good time, because that makes you not pushy, right? If you're just sitting there talking over them, then you become a telemarketer, and nobody wants to feel like that. You have something really cool to offer them, and that's the attitude you've got to go into it with. So if you're going into it saying, oh my gosh, I've got this really cool stuff, and I think, Nicole, this would really work for you. So I'd love to talk to you about this. Is this a good time? No, it's not. Okay, totally get it. I've got kids too. Where's the baby, Nicole? Oh, she's right there. Is she sleeping again? No, not yet. Oh, there she is. Okay, good. So I get that that it's, that it's busy for you. When's a good time? Give them the ability to tell you when is a good time to call them back. But let's say they say yes. Oh yeah, totally. Now's a good time. Because you know what? It is a good time. Do not talk yourself out of calling people because you think it's going to be a bad time for them. How many times do you sit there and go, oh my gosh, it's 7 o'clock. People are going to be getting ready and they're not going to do this and they're not going to be able to call you. And then you're like, okay, so I'm going to call them later. And then all of a sudden it's 8:30 and you're like, oh no, wait, no, they've got kids and they're going to be putting kids. And all of a sudden now it's 10 o'clock. And of course you're not going to call them then. So just give them a call. They'll tell you if it's not a good time. It's fine. So it's yes. Okay, great. You know what? I'm doing a wine, cheese, and chocolate party in April, and it's going to be so much fun. It's been a big hit with all my past hosts. They've been able to get up to $200 in free products. Is this something that you might be interested in? I've got 2 months left, or 2 dates left this month. Again, giving that idea that you need to do this now. These are the only 2 dates I have. Even though you might have 8, tell them you only have 2 dates left, and then they're going to want to do that. Again, script is all on there. I would suggest also, this is kind of the out and about that we were talking about, is doing customer care calls. If you've got 15 people at a party, who was that was asking that question, Anna, earlier, who was talking about that? Who had the 3 parties in the weekend?
Katrina Puring.
Oh, it was Katrina. Okay, Katrina. So if you've got that many people, the other thing maybe to think about is your full service checkout. I don't know what you're saying at that, but that's a whole nother thing. Maybe we'll talk about that. That I'm sure is on next week's agenda, is talking about the full service checkout. But if you didn't get an opportunity, or maybe you don't know how to do a first full service checkout, or maybe you don't feel like you're really good at it, those calls the day or so after, it seemed like you had a really great time last night, Ashley. And so I would love to talk to you more about how you can get some of those products. I noticed that you have the Deep Covered Baker on your wish list. I'd love to help you get that at 60% off. I have 2 dates available in April when we can help you do that. Is that something you'd be interested in? So you can absolutely do those day after calls, or those, what do they call them? The morning after calls, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to finish up. Does anybody have any questions about any of those things that we were talking about right now? or that I've been talking about? I know I talk really fast. No questions? Okay.
No, but some of them were good reminders, and I thank you for bringing that up again.
Yeah, I'm sure, Sabrina, you've heard some of these before. And that's the thing. Some of these, they're tried and true. They're things that we've done forever, and they're just a really good way to make those connections. And that's the important thing to remember, is that they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that people really want our stuff.
I was just going to say that I did like after my first party, I did the follow-up. But then after everybody got their products, I gave them like a week or so to use them. And so then I sent messages asking how everybody liked their products, if they were working good, and then just checking back in with people that didn't say they wanted a party, but just said, now that you've used these products, is there something that you would like for free now? We could set up a party. And I actually got another booking off of it.
Perfect. And that's just a great customer service thing. Even if the end result is not adding to your team or adding a booking onto your calendar, they're going to think that you're the bestest Pampered Chef consultant ever. And so they're going to come back to you. And,
and I got plenty of no's, and that's fine.
Yes, right.
But I checked in too, so that I felt like.
Imagine if you were to order something, like we were talking about, like Amazon Prime. What if Amazon called you like a week after you got the product and they were like, hey, Amy, did you like that? Was it pretty good? Are you going to order something else? Here's another product that will go really well with that. You can even get extra sales that way, but it's that customer service aspect that is really good. I like to call those out of the box calls. And it's kind of like a big joke that I would call people and they're like, and especially with stoneware, I found that so many people that they don't ever take them out of the box because they're scared of them or something. So I call them and I go, okay, so I see you got, the deep covered baker. So have you I'm giving you your out of the box call. Have you taken it out of the box yet? And sometimes you get people go, no, I haven't done it because I don't know what to do with it. So it gives you opportunity to give them recipes and such. Certain products are really important with that. Like the smooth edge can opener is another one. The veggie spiralizer, I've been having a lot of people afraid of using that too. So they need some. Mom, for example, Anna, she needs some.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know, like, which customers it's okay to call? Because isn't that like intruding?
Have they given you their phone number?
Yes.
Then it's okay to call them.
But don't I sort of say I'm required to have it?
No. I don't. I mean, if you are, that's fine. But that's, I don't know how they've given me their phone number.
Okay.
If they don't want to give me their phone number.
Okay.
Then I would say, okay, well, the only reason that I need it is I like to give I tell them I like to give my customers phone calls after they've gotten their products to make sure that they're working, well, or if they're having any problems or questions with it. I tell them straight up. They like it, even at craft fairs and such like that. I'll make sure that I have them, but specifically with orders, that's what I tell them. I don't tell them. I tell them that I need their email address. I'm required to have their email address for the order, but that I like to have their phone number so that I can follow up with them afterwards.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And you may even, if it makes you feel more comfortable too, Katrina, is ask them, what is the best time to contact you? Because I'll have people, especially on the drawing slips, it actually says, doesn't it say the best way? It used to actually says now to text. It says text me. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I'll have people that's how they want to be contacted, is to be texted. And that's fine. That's just a different way of communicating with them.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
No, I was just going to jump in and say that some people, I always ask, how do you prefer to be contacted? Some people just prefer to do Facebook message. Some people I email with, and then some people I call. It's just how their preference.
Yep.
So it's important.
And that's part of that full service checkout, I think, when you find out that information from them, what is the best way. I still try to get all of their contact information in that way. If I need to get a hold of them and whatever their preferred method is not working, then I have a fallback. But I mean, I always go by, I do not assume that every phone call, and maybe this is the old school in me, I do not assume that every phone number that I have is a cell phone either. So I still go by the you know, I won't call people before 9 in the morning, and I don't call them after 9 at night. You know what I mean? Like those are my, you know, because I don't want to be called any besides that unless I've told you it's okay, you know. And sometimes I'll have people that tell me because of their timing and everything that different times are okay, but generally that's the thing I go by. Good. Okay, so here's what I need you to do, because I know we're almost at 9 o'clock, aren't we? Are we over 9 yet? Oh, I got 2 minutes. Okay, good, perfect. Here's what your call to action. I know that last week, or we had some of these this week. First off, 10 new mini catalogs I want to go out this week, okay? So I want to know what kind of response we got. Remember, part of the important thing is not just handing out those mini catalogs, but getting them to fill out that drawing slip. And you know what? You might find somebody that doesn't want to fill out the drawing slip. That's okay. Give them the mini catalog anyway, and have them, you know, draw your attention to the website that they can go on there, make an order, contact you, any of that kind of stuff. Start following how many contacts you make, and, you know, phone calls, emails, Facebook, texts, any of that out and about, they all count. Kind of keep track, even if it's just a little tally system to see what your results are. It'll really be a little bit eye-opening, I think, there. Also, making those 5 contacts a week. Was that something you gave, Anna, as a or 15 contacts a week? Did you give that as a
No,
thing?
we didn't. No.
Okay, I think you need to do that. Okay, if you're not already, I know we talk a lot about like 2 contacts a day, but I remember Judy Joel had even said that, is even to jump it up even more. 3 contacts a day, 5 days a week. So 15 contacts a week. If you're handing out 10 of those mini catalogs, you're already 10 out of the 15, okay? So 5 more out of there, just making calls, just making those contacts, offering all of the things that we have to offer to them. Again, you'll see that happen. I know Sabrina talked about doing a booking blitz. That's a great way to get 15 knocked right out of the bat, right there. That's another out and about thing. We didn't even talk about that, is outside of the party is doing a booking blitz. Does everybody understand what a booking blitz is? No. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of head shakes. Okay, a booking blitz, and maybe we can set one up. I would have no problem doing that. Maybe I'll set one up for this week, maybe. A booking blitz is basically when you set yourself a time, and it might be a half an hour, it might be an hour, but you set aside a time that you are going to sit there and you are going to go nuts. You're going to have a blitz to get bookings, because the purpose here is that we want to have as many bookings as possible. I know Sabrina said she had 8, a little tentative about some of them. Want to get more on the calendar. Anna talked about the whole airplane, right? We want to get like Fast and Furious here to begin with. So we want our April as booked as possible. So that I'll do that too. I will set up I gotta write it down, right? Right, Jessica? If I don't write it down, I forget. I told her that many times. Okay, so set up booking blitz for this week. So there'll be more information about that, okay? That's a great way to get out and about, or outside of the show. And also under the, what is it called? Like you guys, your participants, guys, there is an audio that I suggest you listen to. It's by Heidi Tomes and Courtney Cheney. It's about Make It a Network, and it's about talking about to people out and about and how to connect with those people. And so that'll be good. All right, so I have to end with a little bit inspiration. You're gonna feel inspired? Everybody gonna feel inspired?
Yes, inspired.
Yeah, I was like, get it on it, Amy.
Do it.
Anna knows this is not my thing. I'm not a touchy-feely person. I was a biology and a math major in college, okay? So like, that's why I like the numbers. Okay, but this is one of these things that I thought a lot about what Anna had said, I guess, and then talking with Jessica this past week too, is the idea that a lot of what we're doing is very overwhelming, right? This idea of doing 8 shows a month and, you know, adding to our team, and it just sounds like such a big honking thing. But if we break it, I think Jen Gagnon said it last, we're going to break it up. Now we're talking about going out and getting some bookings out and about. So this is what's called the daffodil principle, okay? It's a little story. Several times my daughter had telephoned to say, "Mother, you must come to see the daffodils before they are over." I wanted to go, but it was a 2-hour drive from Laguna to Lake Arrowhead. "I will come next Tuesday," I promised, a little reluctantly on her 3rd call. Next Tuesday dawned cold and rainy. Still, I had promised, and I drove there. When I finally walked into Carolyn's house, I was welcomed by the joyful sounds of happy children. I delightedly hugged and greeted my grandchildren. Forget the daffodils, Carolyn. The road is invisible in these clouds and fog, and there's nothing in the world except you and these children that I want to see so badly enough to drive another inch. My daughter smiled calmly and said, "We drive in this all the time, Mother." "Well, you won't get me back on the road until it clears, and then I'm heading for home," I assured her. "But first, we're going to see the daffodils. It's just a few blocks," Carolyn said. "I'll drive. I'm used to this." "Carolyn," I said sternly, "please turn around." "It's all right, Mother. I promise you will never forgive yourself if you miss this experience." After about 20 minutes, we turned onto a small gravel road, and I saw a small church. On the far side of the church, I saw a hand-lettered sign with an arrow that read, "Daffodil Garden." We got out of the car, each took a child's hand, and I followed Carolyn down the path. Then as we turned a corner, I looked up and gasped. Before me lay the most glorious sight. It looked as though someone had taken a great vat of gold and poured it over the mountain peak and its surrounding slopes. The flowers were planted in majestic swirling patterns, great ribbons and swaths of deep orange, creamy white, lemon yellow, salmon pink, saffron, and butter yellow. Each different colored variety was planted in large groups so that it swirled and flowed like its own river with its own unique hue. There were 5 acres of flowers. "Who did this?" I asked Carolyn. "Just one woman," Carolyn answered. "She lives on the property. That's her home." Carolyn pointed to a well-kept A-frame house, small and modestly sitting in the midst of all that glory. We walked up to the house. On the patio, we saw a poster. "Answers to the questions I know you are asking," was the headline. The first answer was a simple one. 50,000 bulbs, it read. The second answer was, "One at a time by one woman. 2 hands, 2 feet, and 1 brain." The third answer was, "Began in 1958. For me, that moment was a life-changing experience. I thought of this woman whom I had never met, who more than 40 years before had begun, one bulb at a time, to bring her vision of beauty and joy to an obscure mountaintop. Planting one bulb at a time, year after year, this unknown woman had forever changed the world in which she lived. One day at a time, she had created something of extraordinary magnificence, beauty, and inspiration. The principle her daffodil garden taught is one of the greatest principles of celebration. That is learning to move toward our goals and desires one step at a time, often just one baby step at a time, and learning to love the doing, learning to use the accumulation of time. When we multiply tiny pieces of time with small increments of daily effort, we too will find we can accomplish magnificent things. We can change the world. It makes me sad in a way, I admitted to Carolyn. What might I have accomplished if I had thought of a wonderful goal 35 or 40 years ago and had worked away at it one bulb at a time through all these years? Just think what I might have been able to achieve. My daughter summed up the message of the day in her usual direct way. "Start tomorrow," she said. She was right. It's so pointless to think of the last hours of yesterday's. The way to make learning a lesson of celebration instead of a cause for regret is to only ask, how can I put this to use today? Use the daffodil principle. Stop waiting. Stop waiting until your car or home is paid off, until you get a new car or a home, until your kids leave the house, until you go back to school, until you finish school, until you clean the house, until you organize the garage, until you clean off your desk, until you lose 10 pounds, until you gain 10 pounds, until you get married, until you get a divorce, until you have kids, until the kids go to school, until you retire, until summer, until spring, until winter, until fall, until you die. There is no better than right now, time better than right now to be happy. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. So work like you don't need money, love like you've never been hurt, and dance like no one's watching. If you want to brighten someone's day, put this on to someone special. Wishing you a beautiful daffodil day. So one step at a time, one bulb at a time, one day at a time. You all can do this. Starting tomorrow, start handing out these little mini catalogs. Start talking to people. Get that April booked. because these goals that you all have can happen bit by bit. Good.
Yay.
Wasn't that a great story? I love
That was a great story.
story.
Thank you, Amy.
Do you want to stay, and are we gonna?
We can. One thing I want to leave you guys with too that I was thinking about through Amy's training stuff is you can go out. This is your last little thing for me. You can go out and say all the same words that Amy just trained us and just talked about and gave us the script and everything. But there's 3 things that you need to have that will make you different, that will make people attract people to you and make them want to be with. Those are the 3 E's. Remember? So anything you're doing with it, you need to remember the 3 E's. And the 3 E's are to be enthusiastic, to be excited, and to be energetic. If you are the most excited person in the room about whatever you're talking about, that is what's going to get people to be attracted to you and want whatever's going on with you, whether it's the business opportunity, whether it's to book a party. If you're the most excited person in there about, oh my gosh, you love Pampered Chef too, we've got to have a party. Have you had a party before? Because you get free stuff. You know, what was the last thing you got for free that just for having some friends over? If you get excited about it, that's what's going to get them to book. So to keep that in mind too, you can go through all the motions, but you got to have those 3 E's. That will actually make the biggest difference in being able to fill your calendar. So I'm excited. So we're shooting for remember the 8 shows a month. 8 shows a month. We're finishing off this month strong and then going on to April. So definitely, if you need to go, because we are past ours, go ahead. I know people get up in the morning and we're in different time zones and all that kind of fun.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
willing to stay, and I know Amy will too, and if anybody is interested and wants to brainstorm a little bit more or talk about some challenges with bookings and stuff like that, we can definitely do that. I'm free to do that. So if anybody wants to stay, I will stay, but I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording unless anybody has any other questions. We said no. Okay, so let me stop the